How do you flip the perception, the architecture of a conscious future, the facade of a 1% operator, life in the trenches? 20 years ago, if you saw me on a Saturday night in London, you wouldn't have messed with me. I was a hard nut, sorting out troubled pubs in the city's grittiest corners. Spent 15 years standing on the doors with no bouncers and no backup, just me, on my own, handling the chaos of football hooligans. My face was a map of that life. I had my teeth knocked out with an ashtray as a young bloke when I was bouncing when I was 19, leading to a dental bridge that would nearly kill me decades later. I was a boxer, unlicensed, fighter, a man who maintained an angry face for 52 years, because that was the only way to survive. The football hooligans, the organised crime, and the daily threat of being stabbed or shot at. In that world, I was the ultimate operator. I actually earned the 1% operator badge, an elite distinction reserved for those who take a single hospitality business to over £1 million in net profit within one single financial year. I could command a room of hundreds and navigate high-stakes corporate pressure with ease, but it was a performance. While I was masterfully managing £1 million margins, I was internally disintegrating. I've been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and I was treated with electric convulsive therapy, but I continued to fight, drink, push through the trenches. Could still calm the room, full of angry, drunk people, but I couldn't calm my own mind. And then came the gift of the falling ground, the sacking and the shift. You know, corporate systems, they often value the output of an operator while fearing the man himself. After 8 years of breaking success, the company sent me on an all expenses paid holiday. It was a gesture of appreciation for hitting that £1 million. And that turned out to be a tactical removal. Because when I returned from Bali, my holiday, I was silently sacked. They always knew I had bipolar, but they now viewed my bipolar diagnosis as a liability, suicidal threat, bad PR. They didn't want on their hands. They paid me a shit ton of money, forced me to sign an NDA, and discarded me. At the time, it felt like the end of the world. In reality, it was a falling ground necessary for reinvention. I moved to Bali, transitioned into a decade as a COO with mate Nathan in a management company. We led 220 staff and navigated complex cultural legislations, yet even in paradise, I was still a prisoner of my own mind. War stories, I was still on the piss, still blaming my diagnosis for the chaos and still carrying the resentment of being betrayed by partners and friends. However, the narrative prison, the old stories, the bipolar crutch, using the diagnosis as an excuse for benders and volatility and violence. The trench mentality validating my worth through stories of London, violence and survival. And then the betrayal loop, reliving the moments, business partners and corporate systems let me down. The tough guy identity, believing that dropping that dangerous facade would make me weak. Then the deathbed epiphany, decoding the flip. It's the ultimate pattern interrupt. It was a medical crisis that acted as a violent recalibration. Still fighting at the age of 52 and I chipped a tooth, which led to me getting that new dental bridge. But I was unknowingly allergic to the material. For 8 weeks, my body shut down. Until I was laying in Sanglah Hospital here in Bali, staring at the ceiling, the wake-up calls. Normal CD4 count for a human being, your white blood cell count, your immunity system is between 600 and 1200. Mine was 14. The verdict is if you weren't here now, the doctor said, you wouldn't be on Friday. So in that hospital bed, that 1% operator success didn't matter. Bank balances and titles vanished. Only a new strategic hierarchy of values remained. Health, the absolute priority. Family, my wife Ellie, my daughter Nabila, and how I was going to choose to live in the future. Conscious design of my remaining time, and this was a flip. I stopped seeing myself as a victim of bipolar disorder and became bipolar aware. I realised our diagnosis was just a label, a piece of societal conditioning. I decided to stop being a patient and started being an observer of my own mind's operating system. This realisation formed the basis of my book, the second book, Bipolar Aware, a new management system available on Kindle. It's the framework of the conscious systems, facts, the stories. Conscious systems is not guru fluff. It's mental health engineering for people who live in the real world. Under the umbrella of a company I create, Lumindra. Lumi, standing for light, Indra, for consciousness. I developed a practical tool called Clarity Mapping. This isn't just advice, it's an engineered process in a 60-minute session where I sit with a client and they empty their head of their life's chaos and they say things they've never said out loud before. I record this. I use an engineered prompt for my filter data and I provide them with a 10-page document that acts as a mirror to what they just said. 1.5 million IDR, the clarity map, separates objective facts, what actually happened, from the toxic stories that we tell ourselves, resulting in the emotions that we create: stress, despair, anger, fear. The 5 steps of the conscious operation. To maintain this alignment, I use a repeatable 5-step system to move from reaction to peace. Number 1 is awareness and noticing the trigger, e.g. a frustrating question from a spouse in real time. Number 2, intention. Committing to positive frequency, choosing kindness over winning. So then you gotta do number 3, action. A physical pattern interrupt, e.g. taking a shower, doing some meditation. Number 4 is reflection. Reviewing if the action matched the intention. And that brings you back to the present moment. Number 5, arrive at a state of peace, free from the past war stories. The proving ground, Sunshooters Bar and Grill, Bali AI, Conscious Systems, Lumindra, the brand. A philosophy must produce a bottom line. I bought the bar and grill to prove that these internal systems work in high pressure environment. By implementing kindness as a system with my team, we treat staff as a family. They in turn treat customers with genuine care. The result? The business 3.7x itself in just 12 months. We use Bali AI, the engine, for the boring parts, the dashboards, the rosters, the marketing, the ops deck, specifically to free the human staff to be more human. This isn't about being a tech head, it's about using tools to create space for consciousness. This journey is documented in my trilogy of books. The first one, The Pub and Punch, The Path, all about my London drama. The second one, Bipolar Aware, my awakening. The third one hasn't been published, it's called Still Here. The operational shift, the 52-year identity versus the Lumindra system. My internal state, external interaction, business outcome. Old way, angry, mind, ego, driven, fueled by war stories, resentment. Old way, intimidating, threatening, angry face as a shield. Old way, disposability by corporate systems, burnout, internal chaos. New way, peace. Bipolar aware, observer, focused on positive frequency, new way, kind, caring, smiling, acting with deliberate intention. The new way, 37x, bar revenue, 100% music royalties, 200k song streams. The ultimate choice became the future. My mission isn't specifically focused on men aged 45 to 55, but this is a demographic that is often played millions of my songs, but zero happiness because they are trapped by the stories in their heads they're entrepreneurs, they've got possessions, they've got lots of money, they've got family. But my music, including the song Scars and Strength, has reached over 200,000 streams with 99.9% male audience in its age bracket. It proves there's a silent epidemic of men who have been taught to tough it out until it nearly cost them their lives. And I've lost a lot of mates who have lost their lives. Identity is not a sentence handed down by bankruptcy or a divorce or a medical diagnosis. It's a choice made in the present moment. By repeating your past war stories, you're just choosing to stay the man you used to be. To find truth and freedom, you have to have the courage to flip perception. I'm not the man I was. I don't miss the anger. I don't miss the fight. I'm an operator who finally built a system for the most important business I've ever run. My own life. The architecture of your future begins with one question. What story are you still believing about yourself? It's no longer maybe true. You know where I am. You know how to contact me. Want to work with me and understand what it is, the fact and the truth? DM me and give us a call. Sunshooters Bar and Grill. We can have a coffee, have a chat. If anything more comes from that, then I've got an office out the back. And that's where I do my conscious systems and my AI consulting. Sunshooters Bar and Grill. It's just a platform, the proof it works. It works. But look, people who know me, who are watching this now, even now to this amount of time, they don't recognise me, Mark. Because I smile, generally, like right now. And honestly, I'm at peace. And I sincerely and genuinely say it. I don't fear the future because it hasn't happened yet and I don't have any control over it. I don't regret the past and I don't have any resentments because without all that shit that happened to me, I couldn't be the man that's talking to you now. The man who has actually found himself, peace and purpose. That purpose is quite simple. Just to share my story. And men are out there like me, in my age bracket, 45 to 55, and they're in this turmoil and often suicidal. Don't be. You were given the gift of choice. Use it. Choose to change, not stay in the past. For those of you that I know who might be still watching, I fucking love you. Don't let your ego stop you coming and seeing me. It's confidential, it's private. It'll change your life.